Welcome to Tavern Talk Live from Magruder's Pub in Depew, New York, with your hosts, renowned children's book author Keith White Jr. and Salvatore Morocco.
Oh, hey! All right. Yeah, we're here. No, we're here.
Oh, hey!
We are here.
Hello, fans, friends,
Hello,
and
Internet.
people
This is
of the Internet.
This is Tavern Talk 716. We are not live, and we are not at Magruder's this week. We are in an underground bunker filled with anything and everything you could ever need right here on this wall. I don't think I could ask for a better coronavirus studio than this one. There is maybe 6 feet between us, but we're not wearing masks, so who cares? I am international best-selling children's author Keith White Jr. I am here with...
My name is Duran Gomez, a.k.a. Duran, a.k.a. Salvatore Morocco, a.k.a. Sexy Randall the Pharaoh Wizard.
So anyway, in the opening, you will have heard he's referred to as Salvatore Morocco. I don't know if that was just when we started doing these, he didn't know what he wanted to be called, or just the voiceover person thought it would be funnier to use the wrong name. Either way, Salvatore Morocco, Tango Torres, Duran Gomez, mostly annoyed with me, doesn't get to talk most of the show. Whatever you want to call him, here he is.
He's Silent Bob to your J.
Right, except you talk way too much to be Silent Bob. Either way, this is Tavern Talk. We haven't done... Oh, come on!
That's how I do it. That's how I do it.
Anyway,
I drink one, I tap one.
And now I'm doing the cheers again, and now you've already got the bottle out.
What are we talking about? Anyway,
this is Tavern Talk 716. I'm international best-selling children's author Keith White Jr.
Well, while we're messing up left and right, let me take this moment to... So, Keith and I have been friends for an incredibly long period of time.
Too long.
And last year, I gave you your birthday gift, which is coming up in April.
It is. It is coming up in April, which this currently is.
It currently is April, and it's coming up in the next coming weeks. And I gave Keith his birthday gift about 6 months late. It was November, I believe.
I believe you just gave me my birthday gift from last year about 3 weeks ago, just before the whole Corona thing took over the world and the world went on a lunch break.
To make up for that, I am going to give you this year's birthday gift in advance, and I happen to have them with me right now. Ooh. And how fitting that we are backdropped with comic books. I got the words.
You got them there.
They came to me.
It doesn't matter.
They're firing on all cylinders. Here, happy birthday.
Whoa! Yes, baby! Oh, I'm gonna put them a little close here so everyone can see. Toxic Crusaders comics, that is what I'm talking about. If anybody follows me on Twitter, which I'm going to put right down here for everybody to see when you're watching the show online, you have seen that I just actually posted a picture that I drew. I was doing daily doodles on there, and I posted a Toxic Crusaders picture just, about a week ago. So you can probably figure out when we're recording the show by all these hints I'm dropping. Luckily, the government doesn't know we're here to come write us one of those fines I heard about today for being in public with people. So, although we're
not in public, we're on a private residence.
That's right, and we're 60 feet underground.
Yes, that as well.
In an underground bunker.
All facts.
Right, okay, fair enough. He was just telling me before the show started on something you may have also seen online. We're going to post some behind-the-scenes stuff. That on this side of this wall, all dirt, all rocks, also bodies. But these are fantastic. I actually had a bunch of these when I was a kid, Toxic Crusader comics, and I never, even as a child, noticed that was a picture of Lloyd right there.
Yeah.
Lloyd Kaufman,
cool.
Creator of the Toxic Crusader. These are fantastic.
Can we go on a little aside and talk about our, I don't believe we touched on our experience on Tavern Talk yet with Lloyd.
We did it. Which experience? Well, I think that there's actually, I have some, and then we have some. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, though. So
I believe, did we touch on being a part of the Poltergeist film?
I don't think we did ever talk about... Well, maybe we did. We can talk about it again because,
It's our show.
It's our show, and I don't know that anybody's actually watching this, so stay home, stay safe.
It's for us at the end of the day,
right.
Anyway.
That's where I was going with that.
Well, with that said, in 2005, Troma Films...
Troma Studios?
Troma Studios?
Productions?
Whatever, Troma.
Yeah.
TM decided to film their latest venture in Buffalo, New York. And we just so happened, Keith, before the time of social media, Keith was a email subscriber to All Things Troma.
Yes.
And he was gracious enough to fill me in, and we actually went down to the tapings and had the chance of being a part of the filming. So
we
that
did.
Was very cool.
We went down. It was at an old McDonald's that had closed down, and they renovated it, made it the American Chicken Bunker.
Yes.
Which is where all the people were infected to become chicken zombies. We got to be chicken zombies. You were a chicken zombie as well,
Indeed,
were you not?
indeed.
Also,
Yes, we were.
Our friend Anthony was there. He was a chicken zombie. We met some people from out of state. We had a good time. Everybody got to be chicken zombies. Do you have pictures of that stuff?
I do.
All right.
Polaroids.
Polaroids. Well, I don't know how that's... I was going to say email them to me, and I will put them up on the screen for people to see if you have pictures of us as chicken zombies. Polaroids make that tough.
Indeed, especially since I don't have super advanced things like scanners.
Right, and for those of you watching Born, anytime recently, Polaroids were a camera. You would take it, and a picture would immediately come out, and you'd have to shake the picture, and then it would develop itself right away. And if you screwed up the picture, it's not like social media and digital where you just click, 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 click. You took it and you just went, that didn't turn out, and everybody's gone now. So you're just, oh well, this is how it's going to be.
And
so
that
you have pictures of people's eyes closed or the lighting's wrong. And then after 15, 20 years, they just kind of disintegrate and the picture fades. It's really good. They're really, really good. And I heard they're making a comeback.
Classic.
Yeah, they're making a comeback.
Timeless.
Those are back. Polaroid cameras. I don't know if you've seen them.
I have seen them. They're smaller. That's cool. It's a nostalgic thing for us. I remember carrying around fun savers in my pocket instead of my phone, which is very, very handy to take
Funds,
photographs.
are those like lifesavers in the tube? What is fun
The
saver?
fun saver, they're the little disposables. They're the
disposable cameras, and you
Yeah.
take the picture, and then you have to creak. I remember you carrying those around.
Yeah,
And you'd be
indeed.
like at a party, you'd just be walking around, hey guys, click.
I try to be still, but I was immensely in my youth very much a documenter of all events and ongoings, so that's a lot of fun. I have a lot of cool things. Friends hound me on the regular for footage of shows for our bands growing up and such.
Not me. I didn't even know most of this until just now that you even had any of that stuff still.
I do. I have a lot
In fact, I tried to pretend like most of that time in my life it didn't even happen. As an international best-selling children's author, now I try to pretend like most of that did not happen to me.
Like you don't love
I wasn't
LWL.
there. So whatever he's talking about, I wasn't there. You find that footage, that's not me. That is my cousin Steve. Steve White.
Well, I had a lot of fun with Steve. He's way cooler than this guy.
Oh yeah, I became an old dad. So this is about as cool of a thing as I do now, sitting in an underground bunker with you 6 feet away so that we don't get sick, hoping that one of the bodies doesn't cave in from the wall while we drink beers.
I feel pretty good about the structure of this facility. I took a lot of time because it's meant to withstand the apocalypse, not just coronavirus. So.
Oh, there you go. That's excellent then.
That's good to know.
The coronavirus may be the apocalypse.
Once people start resurrecting from the dead, I will officially confirm that it is the apocalypse. But until that day, I feel like it's just a pandemic.
It is called a pandemic. Very good. Very good. You're getting, every week you get a little better. Unfortunately, we took a couple off, so you took 10 steps back, you've taken 4 or 5, kind of come back a little bit, but you're making your way right back. And eventually we're going to be top tier dudes who don't get paid to put videos on YouTube.
It's a good thing I'm pretty.
Top tier under 20 views videos on YouTube. Because I think episode 1 I put up, although I will say up in this corner, you'll see it says Tavern Talk 716 on Twitter, where you can find us. I posted episode 1 on my Twitter, and then Ranting Ron completely ignored that tweet. He has not retweeted it, posted it, commented on it. He doesn't want people to watch the show that the Twitter he runs is promoting. So instead, I'm going to put it down here again. You can follow us on social media on Twitter, and we will post, retweet, and comment on our own videos because we are shills.
It is indeed something we do. I love that other people do all the hard work for me, and all I have to do is retweet.
Right. That's right. Absolutely.
It's perfect for me. It's my speed.
And if you've watched any of the other episodes, I do all the heavy lifting on the show as well. I've let you talk a lot, though, this episode.
That is also true, and I am also failing.
Right. And generally, I will just talk, and then you'll get all upset and you'll at me, which in episode 2, if anybody's watched that one, literally the beginning, we're 5 seconds in, I say my name, and then I go to look at you to tell you, so you can say yours, and you're going at me. The show just started. I haven't even had a chance to cut you off yet, and you were just not, you were all piss and vinegar. You were not interested.
I was feeling sassy.
You were feeling very sassy, and because you were feeling so sassy, unrelated, I have a gift for you as well.
Oh, I love gifts. Let's do this.
He's sitting right here, and he didn't see it, but right here on the table, I've got some Steve Austin Broken Skull IPA. Generally, we don't say what we're drinking or show the labels because they're not paying us anything, but this is awesome. So I got one for you, and I got one for me. We're going to taste test these. I figured this past weekend was WrestleMania, which you may or may not watch. Did you watch WrestleMania?
I did. Indeed, I did watch WrestleMania. And I enjoyed it. Actually, I bitched and moaned a lot of it because it was very lackluster. I feel like you can't put a number or a value on how important the crowd is. But with that being said, I feel WWE went out and did the absolute best show they possibly could with no audience.
I will agree. I didn't realize how important the crowd was. Like, even a crowd of 20. You go to an indie show and there's 20 people there. But they're real into it. And they get into it. And then the talent in the ring, which I'm sure you can very much attest to, the talent in the ring, like, feeds off of that energy. So the crowd gets into it, then the talent gets into it. When they get more into it, the crowd gets more into it. And it's like really the two feed each other. And when you're watching on television and there's no crowd, you can feel the lack of energy. Like, and the matches were good. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed almost all of the matches. Some of them did not belong on a WrestleMania card. But you could just feel that there was like just this lack. Everybody was in like first gear. No matter how good the matches were, and some of them were very, very good, I felt like everybody was in first gear. But they never really pulled out.
Nobody had to kick it up a notch because there's no crowd to win over.
You know, the crowd's cheering you. They're telling you what they like. They're telling you what they don't like. They're telling you to do this. They're telling you to do that. But you're going through the motions, and there's nobody there one way or the other. And then these guys are coming out and they're pointing, and they're doing things, and they're cheering, and they're jumping up on the ropes, and there's nobody there. They're doing it for the camera guy. Like,
one thing that can be said about this program, even though I did end up enjoying it, even though I pissed and moaned much of it, is that in 20 years, no one will say my favorite match was this match from last night's WrestleMania.
That's not true. The Boneyard match.
The Boneyard match was really good. I actually immensely enjoyed the Firefly.
So did I. Match. I did as well. And I was actually talking to somebody during the match, texting back and forth, who did not enjoy that match at all. Thought it went on too long and didn't make any sense. I thought it was awesome. It pulled from very few times.
It was a fantastic story.
Yeah, very few times do matches pull from so far in the past. And that thing went all the way back to John Cena's debut and pulled all the way through his career. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was
impressive.
I thought the whole thing from beginning to end was fantastic. I liked the production value. They did a lot with the little that they had to work with. I thought that they really were able to pull it out, and it was very good. So in favor of WrestleMania, or in honor of I don't know, whatever. We've got two Broken Skull IPAs, Steve Austin's beer, in case you're wondering why I was relating this to WrestleMania. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer. I was able to find these real quick before we drink these. You can open it, though, if you like. There you go. I'm going to open it like a regular person.
I opened it like Austin.
I went onto the website.
Got to cling them together.
I know. Well, after on Raw the one week when the man Becky Lynch and Austin were drinking these, I was like, oh my God, I want to buy these. So I went onto the website and I pulled up the map, and you could click and it'll say everywhere that IPA is available, Broken Skull IPA. So it's brewed in California. So the map is like, I'll do it this way because the camera, I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. So California is full of all, because that's where it's brewed.
That would be California.
Yeah. So California's full because that's where it's brewed. And then there's like a little bit in Texas. The whole middle of the country is empty, and then Buffalo.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, excellent. So I click on it.
We love our beer.
I click on it to see where in Buffalo. Like 8 blocks from my house.
Pretty great.
I literally got in the car and drove there immediately. I got a call about halfway there, and my wife's like, where are you? Like, I went to go get some beer. And she's like, you went to go get beer? It's like 2 in the afternoon. I said, I found Stone Cold Steve Austin beer locally. I went to go buy it. She's like, all right, I'll see you in a little bit. And I came home with it, and I asked her if she wanted one, and she said, absolutely not. So I decided this was the place to drink it.
Pretty
so
phenomenal.
We're gonna drink it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to decide whether we like it, don't like it, even though he already had some. Oh my goodness.
I'm feeling very good about it.
That is delicious. That is really good. Wow. 6.7% alcohol, in case anyone was wondering if they wanted some. This is really good.
I just want to go on record and say that though I do very much enjoy drinking beer, I wouldn't consider myself a beer connoisseur.
No.
I don't frequent the breweries, the latest hip destinations for beer tasting.
You sure dress like you do.
Well, I like to go, but it's not for tasting the beer.
All right, that's fair.
Well, it is for tasting the beer, but mainly
yeah.
for the fact of getting drunk.
I'm going to say that, normally, like, this is what I would normally drink. You can't see it's a Budweiser Select 55, so I'm not exactly a beer snob. I've also got an Angry Orchard here. I'm all over the place tonight. So I'm not really a beer snob, but this is awesome. It's, like, really strong but smooth. Like, usually you drink something that's really strong, you take a sip and you kind of, like, make that face where it's like, ooh, you kind of pucker a little bit. And this is that kind of strong, but not that kind of bitter, I guess is the word.
I feel like you nailed it right on the head. It's strong and smooth.
Yeah.
No poor aftertaste. Like I feel like IPAs have that really, really strong aftertaste.
Yeah, this is delicious. I really, really enjoy
highly
this
recommended.
The only problem I would say with it is that a 4-pack was $15. So it's not a cheap beer. By any means, but it's really good. It's once in a while beer. If I'm looking for something to wash it down, I like the skull and the barbed wire here. Reminds me of the Attitude Era, the WWE Attitude Era. There's a lot of wrestling talk on today's show because there's not really anything else happening in the world right now as the world is taking a lunch break.
Speaking of wrestling talk, I feel like we are all over the place on our show. We'll dabble in and out of different conversations.
That's why I came up with this, because I figured for once we'll have a topic. Ta-da! And the topic's already done.
We can stay on the wrestling topic, but while we're here, the newest episodes of Dark Side of the Ring have been posted.
Oh, yes, have been posted. You mean aired on television?
I don't have cable.
Then how did you watch them?
They were posted to YouTube.
Yeah. Well, the first 2 were posted by Vice. Did you watch the 3rd episode about New Jack?
I have not.
Oh, I did. I watched it. It was very good. I watched it on YouTube. No, I did watch it, though. I'm just kidding about YouTube. I did watch it. They're all very good, though. So you saw the 2 Benoit episodes, is what you're telling me.
Indeed. I saw the whole first season. It's fantastic.
Yep.
It's a fantastic series. And then being a huge fan of Chris Benoit's pro wrestling career, it was necessary to get a little bit of a glimpse into the actual events that transpired on that night, or that weekend rather, and really enjoyed that show. Just really enjoyed it. It was well put together. You got very in-depth views on everyone involved, and got to see a different side of what transpired.
The only issue that I had with it was very good, very in-depth. They talked to people that I didn't even know were involved. It was very good. The only thing I had was they kept saying they didn't know about the murder-suicide thing until the show had gone off the air. But I remember watching that, and while it was happening, that was all over the internet, that they were discovering what had actually happened before the show ended. And they ran the rest of the show. The show continued, and they finished it. But they made it sound in the documentary like they didn't know until after the fact, which is not the case. Unless nobody was paying attention to anything in the outside world other than what was happening in that building, there's no way that nobody knew that. And that actually, I thought, had a lot to do with when they showed Regal's, talking about Benoit.
Yeah, he was very vague.
He was just like, he was a very good wrestler. The end. Goodbye. And it was like, I'll bet you he had just recently been...
He was online. He was online. But I feel like this is, 2008?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't know we were going to talk about this, so I did no research. And if we knew we were going to talk about this, I would have done no research.
I feel like in anyone's defense, and I'm not going to step on a limb very often, but in anyone's defense, I feel like when it went down, things were less likely to explode virally as quickly as they do today.
Well, that's true, but that was a pretty big news story. And it was on news outlets before that show was off the air, what was actually happening. Because back then, nothing, things didn't get out like they do now. Like now, it takes seconds and the whole world knows everything. And then they didn't. But people knew that before that show was off the air. People were getting aware. And I guess you can't, what do you do? If you're Vince McMahon, what do you do? Your show's got 45 minutes left.
Full full 360 on it.
Yeah, what do you just come out?
I feel like you just ride it out and
you come back out to the empty arena and you just, hey, guess what, pal? I just realized you killed people, so here's me dancing for 20 minutes.
I feel like they did what was best and wrote it out and then apologized the next day.
Right. And the third episode, which you do need to watch, was very good. I don't know how you watch it without cable, though.
It's on YouTube.
No, you can't watch it that way. That's illegal.
You said...
oh, wait. I meant to wink at you. I meant to wink at you.
Wink.
Oh, I said wink.
Anyways.
It's very good. It's about New Jack. And what a nut.
I know who New Jack is, and I knew he was a nut already.
Right. Well, you will learn more about how crazy New Jack is. They interviewed him. He's a big part of that documentary. Like, he didn't even say no. He was like, oh, yeah, I tried to kill that guy. They'll be like, what were you thinking when you threw Vic Grimes off of that scaffolding? He's like, the only problem I had with that is I was trying to throw him past the ring. I wanted to kill him. And then they show someone else who's just like... And then they show the Sandman, and he laughs hysterically and goes, I knew it! So good. That show is so good in general. Yes. I really, really do enjoy that show very much. Your phone keeps going off. I know they can hear that. Oh,
excuse me. My apologies.
I wouldn't say anything normally, but I know they can hear that, so I'm just letting you know.
I'll correct this.
Although a little bit in the show ago, you might heard a vibrating sound because my phone was ringing, which we're using to record the show. So, that's how pro this show is. We are straight shooters here, my friends. What was that?
Nothing.
It was a cookie. He just threw a cookie. You know what happened? That cookie almost jumped into my mouth, and he swatted it away because it's got gluten in it, and I can't have gluten. I am gluten-free, unfortunately. And he saw that cookie coming towards my mouth, and he said, no way, wham! You just saved my life. If we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, I would shake your hand. Or, as the president said recently on television, I would take my hat off to you. In fact, if I was wearing a hat, I would rip it from my head. He said that in a press conference. I don't know why he got so into it, but I love that.
Some heroes wear plaid. Or denim.
Or some are Denim Dan with a green shirt on. Either way, Denim Dan, either way. You're a very loud chewer. So I was saying in one of our behind the scenes,
last cookie
we did
show.
Why? I ate chicken wings. The last 2 episodes, I literally ate like an entire order of chicken wings on here, and then would give you vague topics, and then just start eating chicken wings and not listen to you while you talk. I'd be like, talk about things.
Well, I feel like you don't listen to me while I talk anyway. So
I'm sorry, what's that?
No different than any other day.
What's that?
Exactly.
So I was saying in one of our tests, we did a couple tests because we didn't know how this was going to work here in an underground bunker. I'm surprised your phone worked. Underground bumper.
It's not every day I get to catch him. So
a bumper is like a commercial. We're doing a commercial for ourselves right now. This is an underground bumper. Before we went on the air, we did a couple of tests because I didn't know 60 feet under how well the reception would work or anything. And we were talking about, you asked me about how I got down here.
Indeed.
And we were talking about I slid down.
Yes, the wooden ladder.
The ladder, which I didn't realize was wooden at the time I was saying. I opened up the hatch because, I called Duran and said, hey, man, I'm here. And I'm out in the middle of this, field. And I don't see a hatch or anything because he hasn't cut it. So it's real high. And I'm like, dude, I'm here. Where is it?
It's just a piece of plywood over a hole.
There's a hatch. And I'm like, I don't see it. And he goes, oh, hold on. And he pulls up his GPS. You take 10 feet forward. So I stop and I see this piece of wood and I flip it up. And he goes, it's just come down the ladder. Just get down here as quick as you can. I'm like, oh, ladder, great. So I jump and I grab the ladder and I put my feet on the sides and I start sliding down this ladder, right? Because that's what you do. It's like, whee, right? And halfway down, I realize this ladder is wood. So it's like tearing my hands up. I'm getting all these splinters and stuff, and I'm just sliding down. This guy's down at the bottom just pointing up at me. Look at you! Look at you, you dummy! So I slide all the way down. I get down, and I grab my bottle, because it's cold, and I warm the whole thing up. That's what I was talking about in the pre-show, is that this was super warm because I warmed it up with my hands, and it really, my hands are killing me now. Luckily, it's already healed up, so I'm good. But man, 5-6 minutes ago, torn up, bleeding, crazy.
I almost thought we weren't going to be able to film that.
We almost didn't do the show, but nothing's going to stop me. I would have taken my thing off here, I would have wrapped it around, and then I would have just flexed for 20 minutes while we did the show. Underneath this is you ever see when Ned Flanders takes off his shirt on the Simpsons?
Yes, I have.
And he looks like a regular guy and takes it off. He's like
Rambo.
Right, I got that. I got that.
Nedbo.
Because I lost, when I lost 130 pounds.
It all turned to muscle.
And it all turned to muscle.
Naturally, that's how it works.
Right, that is, if you ever wondered, low carb turns fat into muscle instantly. don't at me and don't sue me. But that is what happened. If I took this off right now, I always wear sweatshirts or long sleeve shirts because if not, I blind people with my muscles. It's already happened 3 times. I looked in the mirror once. That's why I wear these now.
We are not a fitness webcast. We are a beer drinking webcast.
Yes, so we are Tavern Talk. Tavern Talk 716. You know what? Because we're not at Magruder's with their 65-cent chicken wings and buckets of beers, I haven't been throwing the name of the show out too much. Although I figured you already clicked on it, so you were already watching it, so you probably know what it's called, unless you're in some sort of YouTube roulette and we popped up. And if so, I'm sorry. But either way, right here you'll see Tavern Talk 716. I will again put our name down here, which hopefully I remember.
They're probably just never going to leave, so they're just going to be there.
Right, well, I could do that, actually. I could just leave it there. But I think it'd be better if every time I say it, it shows up. The problem is I probably won't remember to put it there, so it'll probably never be there. Up in this corner,
do like 3 out of 4 times.
I'll put the logo of the show up in that corner. What do you think of that? Did you notice that?
My side?
Yeah, up in that corner in the first episodes, I put our logo for our show up there.
All right.
And it's like,
and now it's going to be on your side?
No, up here is the Twitter.
Okay.
And then the same way it's been, and the logo's above your head. I was just asking how would that look to you in the video. It's like kind of transparent. I put it up there.
It looked great.
I just learned how to do that. So, I mean, the guy who does all of our editing and adds all the graphics in, he figured out how to do that, which is not Ranting Ron, because I'm glad he's not here. Oh, he might watch this.
Moving on. So I feel like we have other topics to talk about. Corona.
Oh, yeah, Corona. Did you see that?
2020? Canceled.
Right. All because they had to stop making Corona in Mexico. So
yes.
We're beer drinking, the beer you're talking about. Corona beer.
Absolutely. And I found out that it's not because of plummeting of sales because people stopped drinking the Corona due to the Corona. It's actually the government shut them down.
Because they're not essential.
They're considered not essential, unlike the United States. Fucking essential. Oh, not
There's the first F-bomb in the show. I was waiting for it. They are not considering alcohol. You'd think if any country, if you had the U.S. and Mexico, and you're like, who's going to consider booze essential? You'd think Mexico immediately. But no, not with President Trump in office.
No.
We are below Mexico now.
Funny story, actually. Corona beer sales were through the roof.
Oh, I'm sure
they were skyrocketing during this.
There was
a lot of people probably drinking it ironically.
There is a beer, an IPA called Sudden Death. And there was a store selling it. Every 6-pack of Corona you bought, you got 1 free Sudden Death with every 6-pack. I thought that was a fantastic promotion.
That's a great promotion.
I thought that was a great promotion. Now they can't do that anymore, but I thought that was a great promotion. I really did enjoy that.
Well,
I thought you talked when I took that sip. I was wrong.
I was swallowing. On the subject of Corona, it's very, very unfortunate how I'm not even being sarcastic when I say 2020 is canceled. We might not have events until 2021.
I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that, honestly, in all seriousness, I'm hoping that's not the case. I think this thing is getting worse and worse and worse, and I'm not dismissing it in any way, but I also think that they are starting to realize that it's more the elderly and people with low immune systems, and as much as those people do need to be protected, I think there does come a point when you have to put people back to work. And you got to turn the world back on. The world is turned off. Like, things are off, man. You can't do anything. Everything's turned off. At some point, what you need to do is the people who have preconditions or the elderly or people who are caring for people with low immune systems, those people should continue to be turned off. Those people should stay home, and they should continue to doing everything they're doing right now. Those people should continue to do that. They can go stay home. They can get furloughed from work, or they can get government assistance, or they can get whatever the things that we're doing right now, they can continue to get that. But everybody else needs to go back to work, man. We're going to run out of everything eventually. Like, we're not going to have anything. It's all going to be gone. All these businesses are going to go out. They're going to be closed. Like, Blackjack, my buddy Blackjack, and your buddy Blackjack, who owns a Nerd Terminal, who in Cheektowaga.
Love that store, and he's closed.
Maybe owns Nerd Terminal. I was just talking to him the other day. He doesn't know if he'll be able to reopen when this is all over.
And it is unfortunate. This is going to be detrimental to all small business.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that eventually you've got to give people the option. Like, if people want to stay home, let them stay home. You just stay home. If you feel uncomfortable, stay home. But if you're not uncomfortable and you want to go to work, go to work. If you have a business that you need to open your business. If people come there, they come there. If they don't go there, then they don't go there. But everybody, let people make that decision for themselves.
I feel I'm a little more extreme on my beliefs on solving this crisis, where I believe it will take a full shutdown for, what is it? 2-week incubation?
If we did a full shutdown, it would be 2 weeks and we'd be done. We're like, how far into it now because we're not doing a full shutdown. That's what I'm saying. Either let them go back to work or, and keep people at home who are high risk until it's gone, or just shut us all down. It's one or the other, but if we shut everything down, it's 2 weeks and we're all right back to work then with no problems.
Yeah, I feel like if you do the 2 weeks and let it all ride out, and then the people that have it, and then the people that don't have it go back to work and life proceeds as normal.
Right. Well, that's exactly. You can't.
But no, capitalism, bro.
Well, that's just it. I got to keep going. As an essential yourself,
Indeed.
you know how it is. You got to go to work every day, and at least you're not in retail. Like I go to work every day. And I got people coming up and coughing on me and handing me stuff.
It's true. I don't deal with customers. I only deal with my coworkers.
And you know what though? But I'm not sick. Maybe I got it. Maybe it's gone. I have no idea. Honestly. That's 2.
Damn it! Brought it into my bunker.
And I brought it down into the bunker with me.
The bunker's now
cough, 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 cough. Ah, my chest.
Insane.
Aha.
I'm going to work on my F-bombs, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you're not. Yeah, with more of them?
My intentions actually was to do similar to the Mick Foley thing and only drop 1 per show. But I start drinking, the F-bombs slide.
How many did you drink before I got here?
Like 3.
Oh, all right. That's what I was going to say, because we haven't done much at the table tonight. This isn't like Magruder's where we're pounding.
A 12-pack in before the show starts.
Right, and then drinking the whole show. Like this, I wasn't drinking before I got here, and I'm only a little bit done with this. This is unopened, and I'm still working on this amazing Broken Skull IPA. And if we were at Magruder's right now, we'd talk about 65-cent chicken wings and buckets of beer. But that doesn't do anything now.
Magruder's did take great care of us.
They did. And, when this is all done, we may go back there. Although I am liking the underground studio. I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy this underground studio. I did notice the lights reflect on the comics a little, so I don't know how that looks to you guys at home, but it's just one of those things we would have to work on as we go. There's also room.
You'll see the plastic.
Yeah, we can make it work. But we can also, you can't see it here, but I did in one of our behind the scenes videos. There is room here for a whole studio band. There is a drum set. There is a keyboard over here. We can have an entire band. There is behind the camera here. There's a studio audience spot, although right now the world is turned off, so there's no studio audience. Oh, yeah, woo, all right. We don't have that right now. Just like every other show. You watch any show, there is no studio audience at the moment, unfortunately. So we don't have that. But once everything is over, the underground bunker may be the place to be.
I feel like when I was making the underground bunker, I had exactly that in mind.
You knew Corona was coming, and you built an underground bunker so that we could continue to do our show during a global pandemic? Dude, that is genius. That is a good call. That's a good call.
Foresight. What can I say?
Right. Foresight.
What I was referring to, because I am not a psychic, was rather a location or destination where people could come together and have a splendid time, as we usually do. I don't know why I said splendid, probably because I didn't have any other words in my head. But I said splendid, and we do have a splendid time, and that is what the bunker is meant for.
I don't know if it's because I'm an old dad now, but I wouldn't have thought twice. If you hadn't said splendid, and then why did I say splendid? Because I said splendid. If you would have just kept moving, I wouldn't have thought twice about the word splendid. I probably use that word at home, the word splendid. I don't think it's a splendid word.
It is a splendid word, but see, what happened in my own head is when I said splendid, I'm like, stupid. So that's how my brain works.
Stupid and splendid don't mean the same thing. Oh, I guess they could if you say, oh man, we had a stupid good time. So yes, in that instance, that would have worked. So, you're right. I apologize. You were right.
Thank you. That doesn't happen very often. You saw it here first.
And I didn't do it on the show here, but this is Duran's bottle opener that he had given me to open this bottle. And I think I gave this to him as a gift. Now that I look at this gentleman here, I think my wife picked this out to get him as a gift. Oh, and I had a gift for you today that I didn't bring besides these that I was going to use with these. Do you want me to just tell you what it is, or do you want me to just...
Yeah, we got another show, and who knows? Next week, if you didn't bring the Corona down here?
I didn't bring it. I left it up there.
Yeah,
that's what took me so long. I left it. What I did was, I said to the Corona, I was like, oh my God, you go look for the hatch over there. I'm going to go over here, right? And then you were like, oh, we'll take 10 steps. Then I flipped open the thing and slid down real fast. And I grabbed the hatch. Corona's wandering around up there right now. And he's like, hey, I didn't find the hatch. Where are you? That's why your phone was going off.
That's some elusive, badass shit.
Yep.
Can I
That's why
say those words?
You already did. You already said it. It already happened. That's why your phone was going up. That was Corona calling. Don't tell him where we are.
I'm not answering Corona.
Yeah, you don't tell him where we are. He'll use Find My Phone, and we are in trouble.
But we have the bunker because all unessential establishments are closed, and we do normally film from McGruder's, rather, which is a public establishment.
We tried to film at the Home Depot, and they kicked us out. Now you can only have 100 people in at a time.
So we now have the bunker as our fallback destination. So, and I feel like it's working, and we will continue to broadcast from this destination.
We will hopefully continue to, or what we will continue to do is I'll stare at Duran while he goes
brain fart.
But either way, that's just how this show goes. This show is unfiltered. It has no point. Actually, the YouTube description, I think I wrote that. There's no script, no rehearsals, and absolutely no point to the show. So
this show is 100% the best chance for you to see how super intelligent and incredibly unintelligent I am.
And how handsome I am. Because on a weekly basis, I just stay handsome. Although I will say, you remember in the movie The Fugitive with Harrison Ford? When he cuts
Vaguely.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not dating myself or anything. The movie's only from like 1991 or something. But when he gets away, they think he's the murderer. You know, he escapes from prison, and Tommy Lee Jones is chasing him. He goes to the motel room, and he cuts off his beard, and he's in the sink, and he's like pulling it and cutting and everything to shave. That's how I felt with shaving before the show. Because of the quarantine, I haven't been shaving my face. So I'm like in the bathroom, like cutting and shaving. There's just hair everywhere. That's the first thing I thought when I was like, looking in the sink. I was like, oh my God, I'm Harrison Ford in The Fugitive. When he was still young, before, I was going to spoil Star Wars. I don't know if anybody's seen that. So
I feel like most of the planet has, so...
You don't know that. You don't even know which Star Wars I'm talking about.
I also feel there's a statute of limitations.
I was talking about the Christmas special.
That's from 30 years ago.
Nobody's seen it, though.
You don't need to. You're welcome. I just solved that problem for everyone.
Is he in that? I don't even know if he's in that.
Han Solo?
Yeah, is he?
Harrison Ford? Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to get Chewbacca back home in time for the Wookiee Christmas, Wookiee Life Day.
Life Day, that's right. And then Carrie Fisher sings.
I saw it.
And the grandpa watches that weird pornography on the hologram.
That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, I did see it too. I watched it on YouTube. I think it's okay to say that I watched it on YouTube, right? We're on YouTube.
I love YouTube.
Or Periscope.
Except for all those ads. Sometimes I get an ad and then another ad. And I'm like, screw you, YouTube!
I love you, YouTube. Why would you do that?